Hello and welcome to a new live stream. So, before we start, I will just check if the audio is working properly. Just 1 second. So, yeah, I can hear myself. That's perfect. So, yeah, today we will be working on a small game. It's just a small learning project since I really want to learn Default. I have already used Default in the past and it's been a while since I used it. So this week I have been trying to relearn it and maybe learn some of the new features, learn the things that I used to know in the past, since I made some default tutorial in this channel in the past, and I just wanted to learn again, since I have really been wanting to get into web games since when I get bored, most of the time I just open a website like Poki or Crazy Games, and I just start playing some casual games. It's very addicting, and I said, why not try to make it myself? So, and you're just gonna say, why choose default and not something like Godot, since Godot have more resources and it has more features because Godot web support is really bad, and because I really tried it for some game jams, and also since I already did some web games in the past using default. So let's say web games main focus is to start quickly and have a simple and fun gameplay. I can make this simple and fun gameplay in both Godot and default, and Godot will be like faster for development. But the problem is with performance and also with, let's say, booting up the game very fast. So Godot, a simple web game in Godot could take about 20 to, from 5 megabyte to 20 megabyte. But let's say when I made the a Pong game using default, and I bundled it for the web HTML5 and to publish it in itch.io, it only took like 3 megabyte or I guess less if I remember right because I used like very small assets. It's only the background that took very much because I it was very high quality. It was my problem, not default's problem. So yes, it took like a very small like space, or it didn't have a lot of megabytes, and it's a main focus for like web games, and it's required by platforms like Poki. And in Godot, something like with a very large uh, web package, it's not really good for the development. So I decided to learn default, and since it's using Lua, which is a language that I really like and I really used in the past, and uh, I really know about it since the most programming language I use are C, C sharp, and Lua. Since I already use Lua for like some projects, and default uses Lua. Let's just start with default. So default is a great engine. It has a lot of great features. So let's say default is source available, which is you can see in like here. So we can just go to GitHub and find the source code and modify it as we want. But unlike Godot, it's not in MIT license. So you can modify the source code and use a custom default version of for your games, or if you have a big studio and you focused on mobile and web games and you wanted to have custom like uh, a custom engine that you can modify for these platforms, you can use default and it's not a problem. It's just that you can't publish your own version of default like you could do in Godot. Since like if you go with Godot, you can see there is another version called Redot, which is like a modified version of Godot. So default gives you access to the source code and you can modify it as you want for your personal projects, but you can't publish your own version of default. For me, I don't have a problem since I don't plan to like be a game engine company. I just want to make games, and if I really need something and I had the skills for it, I could modify the engine, and yeah, I could just add the features I want. But it's since I don't really need to publish any like game engine version of mine, so it's a good thing for me. And let's see some of the features. We can go like it's cross-platform, production ready. Yes, we can go to see like some games made in Default. Just like before we start, Default was made by developers that worked in King. So if you see web and mobile games, you hear King, it has like the biggest mobile game ever made, which is Candy Crush. So yeah, Default is made by developers experienced in this platform and area. So yeah, let's see some of the features. So it's like Default for now is focused on 2D and it's adding more 3D features. But the actual engine is 3D. You're gonna say if it has more 2D features, how the engine is 3D. So uh, I don't know how to like explain this, but the actual overview, like the actual view of the engine or the actual engine or graphical engine Default use is a 3D engine with a 2D projection. This is how it works in Default for now. So it has everything: a editor, a code editor inside the editor, so you don't need like something like Visual Studio Code. You could use it if you want to. There is a default extension for that. And if you just if you like me, you want all the features or everything in one place. It has a built-in code editor, which is very good. It has a since it supports Lua scripting and a Lua debugger. It has a tile map editor, a particle editor, and scene editor. And the thing I like about the particle editor is the graph editor. You can just modify like parts of the like let's say some properties inside the particles using a graph editor to customize it, which I used in the past and it was amazing. It's very useful. And the thing I like about default and the way it's structured and is that it's truly cross-platform. Meaning, let's say I want to publish somewhere. Yeah, you can publish almost anywhere using default. And you can say like, what about if I want to make a VR game? Since default now is since default now is has more features in 2D, and I saw that the developers are focused on adding more 3D features. Like, let's say, look, default supports a lot of platforms. If we wait and for default to make new 3D features, it's going to add VR directly. Like, look at this. It supports almost everything from PS5, PS4, like everything. So, yeah, these are the features. We can go to the features page since it has more information about it. So, let's wait for it to load. Here, here is it. It has a lot of features. So, 2D focused and 3D capable. Since there is some 3D games made using default, it's just that it doesn't have many 3D features, unlike 2D feature it supports. It's for 2D it has almost everything. 3D it lacks some features, but it's coming, I guess, in the future. Supports animation. It's very artist friendly. The GUI editor is very good. Like the GUI features are amazing in default. Like one of the best GUI like I it's a bit hard to learn at first, but when you know how to use it, it's amazing. Especially using a, I guess, a custom library for UI and default called called Druid, which was made by someone who uses default for its own projects, and he published it for, like, it's an open source library called Druid you can use on your project, and it's amazing. It supports Box 2D and Bullet for 3D, and it's fully integrated on the engine, so you don't need to add it on your own. It supports Lua, and also if you want something like a typed language, you can use Teal, which is, as you can see here, since it's officially supported, and you can just add it as an extension, as a package. You can add it as a package and just use it in your project. And for the what about other languages? So the community has added, I guess, two languages, which are TypeScript and Hacks. If you want to use Hacks, you can use it, and TypeScript too. And also, there is something called, I don't know where I can just mention it, which is the native extension. So the native extension allows you to, like, use other programming languages or native programming languages like C, C++, Objective C, or Java and JavaScript to add native code, which allows you to add like extensions. Like maybe for Java, you can add your own ads extensions, even if default already supports uh, officially the almost every ads network. So yeah, you can add any extension you want. There's C, C++, Objective C, Java, and JavaScript. There's also a C sharp support for the native extension, but I guess it's very new, so it's not fully supported yet. So this is why it's not written here, but I saw it in one of the summaries for new versions. And yeah, they have a lot of, like, officially supported SDKs, as you can see here. So it's the perfect game engine for mobile and web. So this is why I choose to use it, and I choose to choose it. So yeah, this is default. Hi, hi, welcome Luna Smith. I saw in Twitch. Oh, I don't know, but in Twitch or YouTube, is it working great? Yep, YouTube is correct, but Twitch, there's a problem with yeah, there's a problem, a small problem using with Twitch. The title of the stream has not been modified. It's still the same as the old one. So I don't know why. Can I modify it from here? I don't think so. I don't think I can modify it from here. There's a stream manager. Yep, I can't modify it. So let's just say I'm using default, even though it's here written C++. It's the old one. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back, just 2 seconds, try to modify it. Maybe I can. Okay, so we are back. There was a problem, I guess. Now it's correct, which is a live game dev session, starting a small game with Defold. Okay, so we have our project here, which is this one. Um, since it's just a small game, so for now it's just empty. Because you can see there is nothing in the window. I have some assets already made, so I'm just gonna create a new atlas. I'm just gonna use that is a very big list, so Control N for a more controlled list. I'm just gonna create an atlas. I don't know, limit shapes for now, and yeah, I'm just gonna add the images, the static ones. Okay, where is it? This one, circle and wall. Okay, there they are, images. So they are a bit blurry because I made them like that, just like I need to modify them. I have the project since I just because I lowered the resolution in the when was making them. So just like some shapes for these two are for the, okay. So the game we are making is called Drop It Right. It's just a simple casual game where you drop like shapes from a spawner or dropper, and you need to drop them in a container. Sometimes there will be obstacles, and sometimes the shapes have some bounciness, and your goal is to, like, in that level you are in, you're just gonna need to, like, put the shapes into a container, and like they should not fall from the container since the container is open from above and it could overflow. So let's say I am going to give you five shapes, and you will need to put them like precisely into the container, and because there's some bounciness, so you need to wait for the other shape to stop bouncing before putting the other one so that they don't overflow or they don't fall into a pit or the void, just like that. So yeah, okay, Luna Smith, you followed me on Twitter, and okay, yes, of course I'm going to follow back everyone. I almost follow everyone that watches my streams and follow me on Twitter. I just follow them back. You are a 2D and 3D video artist. Okay, thank you for the follow, and yeah, I hope you like my streams. If you want to know what I'm my working on, it's just a small web game I'm trying to make using Default. Thank you for following me, and if you want more things, you can follow me here on Twitter or YouTube. If you are watching my stream, I make some streams like from time to time to just have fun with people. Yeah, I like making games and just share like my passion with people. So yeah, let's start. For now, we're just gonna make the first shape since we need to have the initial gameplay. And after that, I'm going to like implement the shape spawning. For now, I am going to have spawning, but it's just going to spawn one shape. And we're gonna choose which shape we're gonna start with. Maybe the square one. And yeah, and then after I'm going to make it like change the shape you are loading like that. So I'm going to make a spawner, one for the squares and one for the circles, and randomly give you one of them to like if you want to spawn one of them. So yeah, let's start. Okay, we have a main script which is empty, and yeah, we're gonna just create a folder since we want to make things a bit structured, and just gonna shapes or just gonna make game objects. Okay, so I'm just gonna make game object. This folder is for general game objects. You're gonna see like I am writing folder names and variable names like I am using C sharp, which I need to learn since in C sharp I like really use this. I start with like lower cases in the first letter word, and the second word has the a capital letter at first. So it's very C sharp like, which I guess it's fine. Since it's a thing I am used to do, so it's not a problem. So game object, I'm going to make a square. Okay, so in here I'm just gonna add a sprite, which is this one. Inside the sprite, we are going to choose the shape atlas, and we are going to have which one? This square, and it's this one. Okay, it's better to have it like this than having a nearest filter, because the nearest filter will show the pixelization. So a mip map or a linear, I guess I'm using a linear filter. Let's see the display. Is it graphics or displays? I guess it's graphics. Yeah, it's this one. So I'm using a linear filter for the texture, which is great. Nearest would just show pixelization. Only use nearest if you are using pixel art, because when you are using pixel art, you want the pixelization to show. And since I am not using pixel art and using vector art, I made an Inkscape. You really need to use like a filter to not show the pixelization. I don't know if I can make higher quality like textures or sprites without costing me in like asset size. Since the assets are very like they really affect the game size, so I need to optimize the game and at the same time have a decent quality of sprites. So I'm just gonna have a new folder called script. I'm just gonna delete this main script, and I'm going to have two scripts for now. A okay game object. Let's have also a new game object. This game object is going to be a okay. So let's first get the game object and call it a spawner, just like this. And yeah, and I'm just gonna add a factory, which is this one. For now, let's call it a square factory. Okay, so a square factory, just like this. And I'm just going to have a prototype, which is a square.go. And yeah, and we're gonna create a script. So for the script, and just gonna add a new script. One is called, let's say, hmm, it's mostly going to be a general script. Can we make it a shape script? And if I need to change something, I will change it. Since for now, the shapes have normal shapes. And these normal shapes are going to have either a circle, since for now I'm just going to add a square, and after a circle, maybe a triangle might need some work, since for now there's only three, and in most engines there's only three supported like shapes for collision, which are square and I guess it was okay. So let's see. There's a square, and there is also a circle shape and a capsule shape. Yup, only three: capsule shape and circle shape and square shape, which is enough for the first like shapes I'm going to add. And when I need something more complex, like a where will I need like custom shapes, maybe a star or a I don't know a hexagon. So I'm just going to use a convex like a custom shape. I guess its name is convex, so I am not really a specialist in this area of physics and collisions. So yeah, I'm just gonna create a new script and just call it, I don't know, what is the name? Oh, it's spawner. Okay, square. Use square. We're just gonna add a component file, the shape script, and for the spawner, I'm going to add a component called which one? Uh, I don't know. Let's give it a name. Maybe a component. Yeah, spawner, which is this one. Okay, square, which was gonna have a shape script, and the other one is going to have a spawner script. Okay, so in the main collection, we're gonna add the spawner game object file, the spawner, which is this one. This game window, I don't know, it doesn't show correctly for now, so I'm just gonna add it here. For visuals, I'm just gonna, I don't know, change the background color. Uh, let's see, game. It's probably better to change it from with code, but for now, since most of the like the assets are dark colored, so I will need a lighter color in the background. So I'm just gonna change like the color directly. Is it here? Nope. I don't think. Oh, you can change your versions. For now, it's OpenGL 3.3 is correct. Network render. Yep, it's here. I guess it's just gonna make a grayish color. 25 here and 25. I don't know. It's giving me red. Is red something bad? Oh, it must be at most one. So it should not 0.25. Is it good? I guess it is. I don't know if it's correct because I want a grayish color, and using RGBA, I just do that. Oh, it's not grayish, it's really gray. So I guess I need to make it lower for some reason. Oh, it's really red. I don't know. I'm just gonna let it red, I guess, for now. Maybe. At least it's not. Can we make it like fully red? Ooh, it's way too much. If I make it like higher, so 75, 75, and 75, which should give me lighter, which is this one. So lower is darker and higher is lighter. Okay, change the background a bit, and I'm just gonna add a, I don't know, something that will let me see if there's actually something. So sprite, shape. Just want to position it first, and then I'm just going to remove it. So yeah, it's a square again. Okay. Main collection. I'm just gonna make it here. Yep, it's really small for now. Like really, really small. So 900, I guess. Yeah, 900 is good, and 800 here. I needed more into the top, so 900. I need to make bigger assets, I guess. But we are going to test it in the Poke Inspector if something is not good, I will modify it. So for now, it's looking good. It's clean. The assets are good quality, decent, and I guess each it's very small. Like the whole assets, like all the assets needed for uh, like we I didn't add the font yet, like the assets for the font. So for the container, since I made it a bit modular, since I want the container size to modify instead of having like different sizes or different sizes of sprites for each size of container, I just like have the walls and the floors, and I'm just going to like modify the size using code, which is better, more modular, and makes more sense since I want to create a almost it's not endless. It's not going to be an endless game like playing infinitely. I'm going to make 100 levels, not 100 levels, since it's mostly going to go through phases or waves. Like if you finish a level, I'm just gonna like I make a code that randomly changes the level, like the size of the container, the bounciness of the shapes or objects, and also let's say maybe in some advanced level, like if you finish like 5 consecutive levels and you succeed, the sixth level will have a obstacle like a moving platform. Okay, so for now, let's continue. I'm going to go to spawner and I'm just going to remove this part since now we know. Okay, for the square, I'm going to add a two, like this one is called dynamic object. Dynamic object, and we're gonna have another one which is another collision object, and we are going to name it a, let's say, static object. Gonna say why having a dynamic and a static object. Well, it's for, let's say, modifying the since at first the shape is not going to fall, it's going to show like hanging in the air or hanging in something, and you're gonna ask the player to click the screen to so the game so that the shape fall into the container, and when the player click it should become like let's say it should become dynamic. Um, Before that, we need something like okay. So let's spawn the object first. Okay, so square, and we need a shape. So a box shape is correct. No, it's not this one. I always forget. It's this one. Perfect. I guess for now it's good. And yeah, I'm just gonna name it collision shape dynamic. I know I can. I don't think it's. Can I change the shape in runtime? I don't think so, and I don't think I need it. Maybe some power ups like that helps you make the shape smaller so that it's easier to go into the container. But I don't know if you can make like the collision shape smaller. I will look into that. Box 2D. We're gonna name it collision shape dynamic. Oh no, this one is static. And yeah, this one is going to be a static object. And I'm just gonna change the size for it. It's going to be almost the same. I don't think it needs the a collision. So it's not going to collide with everything until I don't think I need a static object at all. Let's try something. Okay, in the shape script, we're going to need some things like self dot is dynamic is equal to false, and also message dot post. Okay, so I message dot post. Why do I write? Okay, post. The receiver is going to be a the which one? The dynamic object. Yep, dynamic object, and the message ID. So I'm just going to need one of them. The message ID is going to be disabled. Let's spawn it first. So I'm just gonna create a factory here. Okay. Local. Is it going to be local? Let's make it self dot. Uh, I don't know. Square factory is equal to square factory. I type it that. What is it? Yeah, square factory. Yep, it's the name. I guess it needs hashtag from before it, which is hash. Okay, factory dot create URL, which is self dot square factory, and I don't need the other one, so I'm just gonna add the position, which is going to be the current position of the spawner, which is go dot get position. Now if I just start, here it is, the square gets launched. Okay, so if we go to input binding, we already have touch, which is this one. Spawner, okay, so it's the spawner script. Nope, it's here. Disable, so it's disabled at first. And then in the input, which is this one. Okay, so if action ID, which is this one, is equal to hash, I don't know, touch, then I'm going to end it. And okay, so sometimes this happens. Okay. And if okay, let's say self dot is dynamic is equal to true now. It's equal to false at first, I guess. Yep, it's equal to false. So now it's going to be true. Self dot dynamic is equal to true. Uh, if self dot dynamic no, is dynamic, then and message dot post. Okay, dot post. The receiver is going to be, like I said, hashtag dynamic object. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. It's dynamic object. The message ID is going to be enable. Enable. So now it's will give me something. Okay, so let's print if the input is detected. Touch. Nope, it's not detected. Uh, The touch is not detected for some reason. Okay. The okay. So technically, it should like work. So let's change this so it's not dynamic because this one is false, I guess. Oh, okay. So I always forget something in action dot rest. Okay, so I always forget this, and this one should be not dynamic. And I'm just gonna remove this one and print it here. So print and maybe just call it touch, just like this. This dynamic is equal to false, and it's disabled at first, and then it should enable, I guess. Let's try. It still is not detected for some reason. Oh, okay. So in init, self dot is dynamic is false. So I said if not self dot is dynamic. Okay, so it should enable. Okay, so default enable. So the API. No, it's not this one, which is okay. So I'm just going to go into the default API. I knew that I saw something about this since I worked on a similar project in the past, which had this. Okay, so the API, which will be here, it should have enable. It's this one. Okay, so it's disabling and enabling. The current problem, I don't know why it's not working for some reason. Okay, so self dot is dynamic is going to become true. Okay, I don't know. So let's try the other way. Copy it, paste another one. Let's change the name to static object, and let's this one make it static. Static. This one's going to be a static one, just like this. And this one is going to be a dynamic object. Okay, I added the shape script. So for some reason, it's just not. Okay, let's have the static object disable the static object. Static object. Okay. It's still not working on touch. It should work on input. Action ID is correct. To hash touch and action dot pressed, which is correct. We can have something like this in here. Let's first of all have them like this, and yeah. Okay, so I found the problem. I always forget this. It's the acquire input focus. Why do I forget this? So it's required by default that you actually acquire input focus. I always, like, I don't know. It's a funny. It's just a one line, and always when I start a default project and make like a lot of game, like trying to make input work, and I just stay like 30 minutes like having a problem, and touch is now actually detected. So and yeah, but as you can see, if we go here, since it's a very big canvas and with touch, it's falling, but it's falling very slow. So for that, I guess we're gonna need to. Is it this? It's 50. No, it didn't change. Which one makes it fall faster? 1,000 is way too much. A small square having a mass of 1,000. It's still the same, so I'm just gonna not change it. Maybe we can add more gravity. We go to game.project and go to physics. Guess it's somewhere in here, so yep, it's this one. And gravity.x is minus 10. What if we make it minus 100? And it didn't change anything. Yep, this is what I am. Yeah, worst. Why is your name worst developer? Okay, so this is what I am trying to do. Probably it's, I don't know. So I did change it. Oh, now it's falling faster. Yep. I need to make it even more faster. Okay, so it's not good, I guess. Let's have a. Okay, so now it's decent, I guess. And now we are going to work on the spawning. So if we go to main collection, it's this one. First, let's go to spawner, this square. Is it this one? It's this one. The spawner script. If we go to shape, and we're just gonna message dot post. Okay, we're just gonna the main. It's going to be spawner hash spawner, I guess. Since it's the spawner game object and the spawner script, the message ID is going to be, I guess, spawn another one, maybe. And if we go to the spawner script and we go to the message, so if you receive a message ID equal to hash spawn, okay, then uh, I'm just gonna create another factory. It's like this. Yep, and yeah, I'm just gonna end this one. Yep, it's giving me continuous, and yeah, I can just spawn a lot of objects, and I'm going to get an error for like having too much physical object. And yeah, I need to make them like have a timer for them. make them fall even faster, I guess. 5,000. It's too much, but it's something. I didn't save it. No, it's great, I guess. Now we're just gonna have a small container, and then we're gonna add like the core game loop. For now, we spawn the shape, but there's like no gameplay. So we are going to need a container first. So inside here, I'm just gonna create a game object container, and yeah, I'm just gonna add a sprite. So, hmm, should the container be a game object or a collection? Since we have a wall and we have a yes, and we do need to change the scale. Is the scale in the sprite changeable? Uh, Default sprite properties. Can I change the properties of the sprite? So from like the can I change the scale from code like from in runtime? Is it possible? Okay, so I will test with this method first, but the sprite is not only the one that should. Yep. So I'm going to rename this one to wall, and we're just gonna have the shapes and the wall sprite, which is this one. It's just a simple sprite, and we're just gonna add a new game object, I guess. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a floor game object, and just gonna have the sprite 2, which is going to be this time the floor one. So for the walls, I don't think I'm going to change anything in their size. They mostly going to just move, but the floor is going to change in size. Like it's going to get longer since changing the container size is just like moving the walls of the container and scaling the size of the floor. So it's just going to be like that. Where is the floor, which is this one, which is the same sprite as the like the wall, but just like it's instead of being like horizontal, it's vertical. So not much has changed. And we're gonna add a component which is going to be a collision object, and it's going to be static since I'm not going to change most of the things in here. And yeah, it's going to be a box. The size is almost perfect. Just gonna change it a little bit like this, and we're gonna go with the walls too. And yeah, so the first wall is just gonna add another collision object, and it's going to be static too. And I'm just gonna add a box, and we're just gonna make it just like this, and it's a bit not in center, a bit off center, I guess. I'm just gonna make it like this. For the floor, I it's unnamed. I'm just gonna make it shape. I'm probably not going to need to name it, but I don't know, might be needed. Okay, so let's continue on working. Uh, I'm not going to need. Okay, so let's create a new folder. I'm going to add a collection folder since maybe for some game object that cannot, let's say you have a game object that needs game objects inside it. So since we can't add game objects to game objects, we can add game objects as collections, and we can add collections into collections. We can just create a collection as a game object that has other game objects inside it, and have a that collection added to the scene. It's a bit confusing, but it's the most like smooth way to do this, I guess. Maybe. So just gonna add collection, and it's going to be the container collection. For now, just going to be simple. I'm just gonna add the floor, and I'm just gonna add the wall. No, I just add the wall, which is this one. Yep. So I'm just gonna duplicate. Is it possible to duplicate? Nope. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy and paste another one. Okay. So now we have two walls and a container. Okay. So I'm just gonna add it. Okay. Let's have it here and just like this. This one too is going to be here. For now, it's going just to be look like this, but it's going to be improved in the future. Um, I'm just gonna add it to the main one. Add game object. Uh, file not add collision. Okay, add collection file. Okay, so I'm going to put this collection at 900, and in the y-axis it's going to be 300. Let's okay. So it's look. Let's look if it's actually going to fall inside the container. It does, and it's broken. What is that? I don't know. What is that? Okay, so it's moving. It's shaking. I don't know, but I want to make it a feature. Like since it's the goal of the game is not to make it's to make the shapes not fall from the container. So if we can do that, like something that actually like moves the container. I don't know why are they shaking like that. There's some collision between. There's something between collisions. The floors. Okay, so let's make it a bit like this. And okay. So if I disable, I don't know if it's maybe because we have two like collision objects in here, but we do disable the static one and enable the dynamic. So technically, if we disable the static object, it should technically like remove its collisions, maybe, since it's not like enabled anymore. I don't know why there's like this problem. So I don't know. I'm just going to send a bunch of objects and see. And yeah, it's just they are just shaking violently for some reason that is unknown. Okay, so I'm going to search for the reason and why. But first, the containers are very small. I need to make them bigger. Like the floor should become bigger, like shaped. The y-axis make it two. Like no, no, not the y-axis. I forget it's the x-axis. One. No, it's already one. Let's make it two. Also, the shape. This one is better. For the wall, I guess it's the same thing, but this time it's actually the y-axis that is going to change. So yeah, I'm just gonna change again the size of the shape of the collision object. And now inside the container, I'm going to need to change some things. So I'm just gonna move this one here higher a bit, just like this. And I'm just going to need to move the other wall here. I don't know. No, it's here. A little bit inside so that there's not much like. Okay, so we can already see them. Okay, no problem. I'm just gonna continue. This time, I guess we're going to have the same problem, but I don't know, maybe it's going to be fixed. It's still violently shaking for some reason. Okay, I'm just going to just send a bunch of objects there. Okay, I don't know. It's just shaking. I should probably modify some things. Okay, what should I modify? Is there a problem with the collision like the actual collision? I don't think so. Okay. Hmm. It's the problem. I don't know what is the problem here. I probably know. Is it because the gravity is too high? What if we make it 1,000 again? Is the shaking going to decrease? It does not. Let's make it 100. Okay. What about 980? I guess this one is the typical, like, since most of the. Oh, okay. Now it's perfect, I guess. It's still shaking, but it's not as much as it was. Can we make it like 98? It's very small, but I guess it's possible. Yeah, it's very slow, but I guess it's. Yep, the shaking is removed. Okay, so I changed a bunch of them. There's some ones that here that should be removed. Yeah, it's fixed. It's just that like it's a bit slow. Can we like I don't know add so that it's 9.8 is the like usual physics that we see. Can we like I don't know 198? Um, it's let's see 500 if it's still shaking. Okay, so let's see. I didn't save it actually in 900. Wait, save. Now it's falling faster, but is it going? It's oh no. So since the gravity is too high, it's the bounciness is weird. Yup, there's still that friction. I'm going to make it 98 for now, just for like just for now. Okay, and we are going to need a simple UI. I'm going to make a new folder just for the GUI, for the game UI. And yeah, for this game, I'm not going to have a main menu. When you start the game, directly you start into action. The UI is going to be mostly the game UI, which is going to have the score and everything. and also a simple tutorial. It's not a tutorial, it's just like a hand showing you to click, and it show you what happens when you click, just like that. So it's not going to be a complex UI. Also, for other than the game UI, you're gonna have like, if you lose, you're gonna have like it's just going to say the score, your current score, and your highest score, and also if you want to replay the game. So it's just like small UIs, not no main menu, just directly. It's the, I guess, the standard for the for web games is to directly start, since most of people that play web games uh, really wants that. So this is why I'm going to go with this like approach. So I'm going to have HUI, and let's make this one the game UI. As you can see, we have some things in here. So I'm just gonna add a text. For now, do we have a font? We have this there, like, no font. Default. It's this one. Okay, so it's, how does it look? And the size, let's make it 1,000. Uh, it's not. I don't think. So let's make it 500 by 500. Yeah, it's way too big, I guess. Let's make it 5 by 5, and let's make this one 100 by 100, and let's just move it here. Can we change the color? Let's make it dark gray, something like, I don't know, this, something like this. Okay, it does have an outline, shadow also, so text tracking. Can we change the outline? I don't know. Maybe we can. But for now, I don't need like to -88 or something. Yes, I made the gravity 98 because, okay, I don't know if it's just commented since I didn't see it in the live chat, but yes, I did make the gravity 98 since 5,000 in gravity. It was way too much. 98 is great, so I don't have the jittering problem anymore, but it's like falling way too slow, which is a problem. Okay, so we can just add it like for the main collection. So I will separate everything. Like, I'm going to have a game collection. I guess it's everything is going to be in one collection. So even the like the UI for like losing, it's not going to teleport you. It's just going to appear and tell you if you want to like replay or go back to the beginning. So yeah, it's just like that. So I'm just gonna add a game object, call it in-game UI, and I'm just gonna add a component file, and it's going to be this one. So if I build it, we have a 0 here, and inside the container, how? So in here we have a problem. I don't know if the size, like the shape, is possible to change in runtime. I should ask the developers on like the default forum or Discord when like we finish the stream, since for the difficulties for the game we're gonna need to change the container size. Changing the container size is going to mean like we need to change the trigger for the container. Like, when the object enter the trigger, we collect a score. So if the container size change, the trigger is also going to change. So yeah, that's what I need for now. We're just gonna need I don't know, add a game object. Let's name it trigger for now. The trigger? Yes, it's trigger. I'm just gonna score trigger, and I'm just gonna add a component file. It's going to have a collision object. It's going to be trigger, and it's going to have a box shape. Yeah, it's going to be here, and just gonna change it just like this. Since we don't really need to collect everything, just gonna make it appear here, just like this. Like when you come through this, that's it. You're inside it. Do I need to add another trigger for the other one, or okay? I don't think I need to add it. So we're just going to go to square to group and make it shape. The shape group, and inside the not the game UI. So I'm just gonna add. So let's add a UI script, which is this one. No, this is the UI. I need to add a GUI script, and let's call it the game GUI script since I don't need a complex game name. So for now, I don't need something complex. I'm just gonna add it here. Okay, for now, I'm going to print the score first in the like console, and if it works, I'm going to make it like print it inside the score UI. So we do have, so I'm just going to add call it shape for now until like I truly need it. For the collision, the mask is going to be shapes. So shape, yep, and the default physics, which is this one, and it's collision groups shapes. Okay, it's better to use the I guess. Where is the examples? I'm going to open the examples and let's see if we have physics related examples. Trigger. These examples are always useful in default. Okay. I've always wanted to make a physics focused game. I already have one, which is Toon Roll. It's a 3D game, but I was always fascinated with 2D physics focused games. Like when I was like playing on like web games, sometimes I just start playing a physics focused game and just very fun. So I really wanted to make something similar. I don't know why the trigger like the gameplay is not working, but we don't need it for now. We just need the script. Okay. Oh, here is it. So there's going to be a trigger. Okay. So we're just gonna have a message of a trigger response. And I'm going to just print it. So on message, if message ID is equal to hash trigger response, then let's just print for now score, uh, score and just like this. Self.score. Is it like this? Does it write like this in default? It's been a while. So, what I'm going to do is like have the self.score, or you know what? Yeah, let's have a self.score. Sorry. Okay, sorry. So self.score, and each time it's going to just self.score is equal to self.score plus 1. Okay, so, I was okay. So printing variables in Lua. It's been a while since I used Lua. It's not the same. Oh, is this one? Is this one? Which one should I use? It's not the same. Okay, so it's not working. It okay. Did the did it go? So if I it's working, so it just was missing. Why was it missing one? Okay, so it enters here. Now it's not. Ooh, why did it container collision object? Is a trigger? Okay, so the wall game object still has its shape, which is a static, like the floor. But why is it moving inside? I didn't turn the square into a. It's still dynamic and static. But why is it moving through it? It's not even detecting something, like at all. Okay, let's close this UI for now. Just okay. First, if message response, then just gonna add this, have it here, and I should find the problem where it's like moving through it. It's not even detecting or printing something. Trigger the manual doesn't like detecting collision. Resolving collision. Collision response. Dot other ID. It's not response. It's enter. I didn't even copy it right. It's still moving through it and it's not even printing anything. So just gonna make it actually print at least something. Like let's just Move this one. Maybe it's the one causing problems. It's not even getting detected at all. There's no build errors or anything. Hmm, maybe I should not add it here. Ooh, maybe. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to add a container script in here. Maybe I should add this container script and have a container manager script. Manager. Yep, a container manager, and you can have a self dot score is equal to 0, and here inside on message print score. Let's for now let's just print the score. So container dot collection, and inside the score trigger the component file, and it's a container manager. Now if I add this, it doesn't get detected still. Okay, score trigger. Generate trigger events. Yep. It's still not showing for some reason. I am now inside. I am outside. It's hash, right? Oh, it's hash. Message ID. Message dot enter. Yep, it's not working. The invisible trigger contains a collision. It's the body script. I added this script to the body, but to the shape, but it didn't work for some reason. Just like that, it didn't work. I have this. I had this here, which was in this shape, and yeah, it didn't work, so I'm just gonna remove it. I don't think I need it for now. Okay, so where is it? Shape. I'm going to have it again. Self dot score is equal to 0. But for now, it's not going to be added, but I just at least want something to be printed. Why do they have a like collision like this? They turned their collision square. This one is static, this one is dynamic. Mask everyone. The group is shape, and it masks everything, default. But the container only, like the collision shapes only mask the shape. Let's make this one a trigger. Oh no, container. Why is it just not working? And why are these not like dynamic? Why did it turn like this? Is it because I added? I don't know. Let's cut it. Let's weld. You're still like this. Why? As soon as I add a trigger response, It just don't work. Okay. It loses everything. Why? The the floor. It's static. It's the problem is with the square. Like they don't collide with each other anymore. They are dynamic. They have their shape, and they have this shape. But the script is same, so nothing changed in the script. So why don't they collide with each other anymore? Did I broke something? Input binding is not has not changed at all. Game objects. Okay, so it's the same. Okay, let's go to physics. I didn't change everything aside from the gravity, which is 98. It worked at first. What? Why is it not working? Like I removed the thing that. So okay, so I lost it. Okay, so I can. Why is it not working? Like it just got disappeared for some reason. It stopped working at all. What if I remove the game UI? I don't think the game UI will affect anything. Square. Like, why does it not work? Why did it lose its ability to collide with each other? Like, look, did I do something wrong? Okay, something is messed up in here. Spawner is there. Like, what? What is the problem? I don't know. So, 16 input. Okay, so it's like it's not even getting detected at all. Just like that. Acquire input focus. Why is it not working? It's. Did I touch something that I should not touch? Okay, so let's try to remove the UI. I know it should work even with the UI. Oh no, it's still not working. They should collide with each other, but they're not colliding at all. The problem with this, there's a problem with collision, and I don't know what is the problem. We have the UI back. Container, nothing has changed at all. And all of a sudden, the collision just don't work at all. Squares, correct. No problem in here. Great. Okay. If I make this one default to I just remembered. Okay. Now they collide with each other. I was stupid for once. But why? Okay. Let's I don't know, have the container again. Let's add a game object, call it a I don't know, score trigger, and let's add a collision object, which is this one, and let's add a box, and let's move it up here and change it in the X axis just like this. Yep. And let's make it trigger anything that goes inside it. So I'm just going to make it just tiny bit like this. And just going to go to the shape script and remove the comment from here. And I'm just going to put that. Okay, so now something is wrong. Where did okay? And okay, I forgot to remove this one. Okay. Okay, it's still not like the trigger response is still not working for some reason. I don't know why. I followed almost everything in here. So position.x, this one is not relevant. A collision object that type trigger box shape. So yes, I have everything and reacts to physics. So it's dynamic. So I don't see it's the same as the as this one here. Message ID collision message. If message ID is equal to hash trigger response, and yep, I found it. It's a typo. So you're telling me I was like, okay, so I should use an S instead of a C. Yep, and yeah, it works. All of that because I instead of using a S, I used a C. Okay, sometimes just like lose your mind on something that should not lose your mind on. Okay, so self.score. And yep, okay, so I am trying to on field score a nil value. Do you mean? Oh, I forgot to self.score is equal to 0. Okay, so one, and one, and another one. So now technically it should work perfectly, I guess. Uh, it didn't show everything. Wait. Okay, filter. Let's have it score, but it doesn't increase. Why is that? Uh, I don't think it shows the latest thing in the console. So it does get called, but it like I don't think it's changing. So search result. Can we see like the full? Okay, the score is not changing. It gets so each time it enters. Oh, I forgot. Hmm. Yup. Yup. I forgot about that. Mhm. It should be in a general script. I always forget about that. Oh my god. Since because the shape is creating each time and I'm not updating the script, so each time it's just a new shape. So it's not like it's a past shape where the like script gets saved, the script gets restarted, or the script just go back to the beginning. every time. So I should create a global script which going to harness it. Does it have it here? Yes, we have it. Okay, we can make it here, so we can just have a self dot score which is equal to 0. And okay, so shape, and we're just gonna have this one. Okay, but first let's change the message dot post. uh just gonna change main, and it's going to, what did I name it? Main collection. It's going to be in-game UI. So in-game UI. Yeah, I name it like this, and it's going to be the GUI. I name it. No, it's the game. Okay. Do we access it like this? It's game. Okay. Yep. And message, not message. Message. So the message is going to be a score. Let's just make it score. And in here on message, if message ID is equal to hash score, then I don't know. Maybe let's print this one, and let's add self score is equal to self dot score plus 1. Okay, so let's see if it actually finds the script. Maybe, please. Oh yes, now it's working perfectly. Finally. So now we have the square. We find the square. So now we just need to change the text, and we're going to have the initial, like the initial features of the game done. It did take a long time for no reason. Okay. So okay, so the audio of the, okay, my, okay, now it's working perfectly, I guess. Nice. Now we are just going to affect the UI. So for the UI, where is it? It's this one. Now I'm just going to change the value of this one. I'm going to get score. So yeah, do we have a text? Message dot set the URL, which is going to be, I guess, text. It's text. There's like the what did I then change the name of it? So it's going to be notes of score. Is it like this? So I'm just gonna call it. Just take the ID of it. Just score. Okay, and just what is the property? Going to change the text property just to make sure that I will. Okay, so GUI text node set score, and yep, it's this one. Dot get node score UI dot set text message dot score. Okay, GUI dot set text, and we're just gonna GUI dot get node score, and the text is just going to be self dot score. Yep, you have the initial like script working perfectly, no issue. Okay, so we currently have everything in line. So in the first level, the requirement will be 5. So if you have 5 shapes, so you have 5 shapes inside the container, it's going to work. For now, it's not going to get detected because it's not actually inside it. Hmm. What I am going to go is go to the dynamic restitution is make it 1. It's going to be very jumpy. Yup. It's just going to collide. Look, it's like infinite score. It's way too jumpy, so let's make it zero point 0.7, I guess. Because I do want it to bounce, but not too much. Yep, now that's perfect. Yeah. So now we have the initial game loop, like the initial gameplay and the initial features of the game done, I guess. Now we're just gonna add new shapes, and the important one is the wave or the levels. Let's say it's going to be some randomness, some like I don't want it to be like the empty, like procedural levels that feels like bland. I want to have like controlled uh, procedural controlled levels. What I mean by that is that the levels are not actually fully procedural, and that I actually just control the position of the objects by code. It's just that I just add some random events or some random values so that the levels don't feel repetitive. This is the way I'm going to go with for this game. I might work on it not on the live stream alone, and in the next live stream, you will going to see some new updates. And if I don't work on it, I will mostly work on it since it's a game I need to finish. So in the next live stream, you're going to see new updates, and we're going to add together new features. So hopefully you liked this live stream and you liked this game engine that I started working with, which is Default. And if you saw my old videos, you're going to know that I made default tutorials in the past. I guess it was 2 years ago where I made a 3D tutorial, a tiled tutorial, and also I guess just like something to change colors. In the past, I used like default way too much. I really liked the engine. I did stop working with it when I like entered university where I started working a lot with C and I just worked on a lot of C projects since I wanted to like be better in C, and so I stopped working with a lot of other languages. Then I just worked on a project using C sharp, and I needed to like improve my C sharp, so I just worked on C sharp projects mainly. This is why I worked with the Stride game engine, but now I am working on a actual personal project that I do want to release on the web or maybe on Android too. And Default is the perfect engine for that. So if you want to, like, I don't know, make game for any platform you want, 2D or just small 3D games, just check Defold. It's a great tool. So now I'm just going to say goodbye, and I'm just going to say goodbye and maybe to like a stream in the recent future. Or yeah, didn't make a lot of videos and streams in a while. Like I like there's a lot of breaks, but I hope after the exams, since I still have exams, after the exams I can make more live streams. Like each, I'm going to try to make every week a live stream or two. So yeah, I hope I can have a good schedules for live streams. And yeah, and for the videos, I have some ideas about videos. I will make more. For the live streams are going to be more technical, and for the videos I will focus on more the design part of the games. It's not going to be only my games or my personal projects. I will try to analyze like other released game, play them, analyze their game design, level design, and maybe technical aspects of them. So uh, I will try to make higher quality videos. So there isn't going to be a lot of videos released, and most of the future videos are going to be higher quality than those old tutorials I had. And I for the technical and maybe tutorials are going to mostly be live streams. So yeah, I hope you liked this live stream. I'm just going to say goodbye, and I hope I'm going to see you in the future. And I hope you like this live stream. Bye.